YouTube channel, Daily Issues. Learn something new every day. So, we are going to talk about Venezuela. Venezuela is a country on the northern coast of South America with diverse natural attraction. The economy in Venezuela is largely based on the petroleum and manufacturing sectors.
So, today we are going to explore about Venezuela. Let me invite our first guest, which is Dr. Fakhruddin, who is a very famous statistician in Malaysia.
And Dr. Sayuti, the famous economist in Malaysia.
So, Dr. Fakhruddin, how are you today?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine.
How about you, Dr. Sayuti?
Alhamdulillah, I'm fine also.
Okay, Dr. Sayuti, I heard that Venezuela have a state of total economic collapse since the mid-2010s, especially inflation crisis. Would you mind to share your research with us about that crisis?
Okay, first of all, thank you for Mr. Ashraff. So I want to talk about the inflation at the Venezuela economy shrank 5.8% in the first 3 months of 2010 compared to the same period of 2009. And had the higher inflation rate in Latin America at 30.5%. President Hugo Chavez impressed optimised that Venezuela would emerge from recession despite International Monetary Fund's forecast showing that Venezuela would be the only country in the region to remain in recession that year. The International Monetary Fund categorized the economic recovery of Venezuela as delayed and weak in comparison with the other countries in the region. Following Chavez's death in early 2013, the country's economy continued to fall into the even greater recession. Inflation rate for consumer price has increased hundreds and thousands of percentage points during the crisis. Inflation rate remained high during Chavez's presidency. By 2010, inflation had removed any advancements of wage increase. By 2014, it was the highest in the world at 69%.
In your opinion, Dr. Sayuti, is it possible for the country to overcome the inflation crisis?
For my opinion, yes, of course, and I believe this country can overcome inflation crisis, but in long-term period.
But instead of just inflation, the Venezuela also faces employment problems. So, Dr. Fakhruddin, from your research, can you please explain to us about the unemployment rates that are happening in Venezuela?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Emir. So, unemployment rate in Venezuela is defined as the number of unemployed people as percent of the labor force. The labor force include the people who are either employed or unemployed, also who don't have job but are actively looking for one. The labor force does not include people who are not looking for work, children and retired. Unemployment rate in Venezuela is 10.62% from 1999 until 2016. The unemployment rate has reached the highest of 20.7% in February 2003. The economy of Venezuela is based largely on the petroleum and manufacturing. In the early 2000s, the government overspent in social spending and did not save enough money for any future economic turmoil. Government failed to cut spending in the face of falling oil revenues. This problem caused the unemployment rate increase until in December 2004.
Thank you, Dr. Fakhruddin. But in your own opinion, how long will it take to recover the employment recession?
Okay, to recover the employment recession, if it takes several years to recover the economy, so it will take a very long time to recover employment recession.
So, thank you to both Dr. Sayuti and Dr. Fakhruddin for joining us tonight.
We will be back with another 2 guests. Stay tuned, guys! Welcome back to the channel. guests, which are Dr. Akif and Dr. Adeel. They both are partners in researching the economy of other countries, including Venezuela.
So earlier in the video, we have already explained the inflation rate and unemployment rate in Venezuela. So Dr. Akif, based on your research, what are the causes of unemployment and inflation rate in Venezuela?
Thank you, Mr. Emir. Okay, types of unemployment that happens in Venezuela is the cyclical unemployment. According to the CNN International in 2003, thousands of Venezuelans are retrenched by company due to recession period of the economy. The cost of labor is high, make their employer could not afford and force them to quit the job as to pay the company losses. Hence, they need to wait for several years for economy to recover. The cause of inflation is the problem global price of petroleum. The global price of oil dropped rapidly. Two currencies value fell. The cost of imported goods increased. So the country had the cost push inflation. It means that the cost of firms increase, so the wages is higher and the firms are forced to raise prices in order to cover the cost. The high cost of production is passed to the people. Therefore, they suffer the cost push inflation due to the increase of the overall price.
Thank you, Dr. Akif, for the explanation on causes of unemployment and inflation. So, Dr. Adeel, can you explain to us, based on your research, how did the government of Venezuela manage to solve these problems?
Okay, thank you, Mr. Emir. The unemployment problem by the state of Venezuela must be solved, as Dr. Akif said. 2003, thousands of workers in Venezuela are retrenched by company because vacation period of the economy. Problem B should be avoided to stabilize the economy in monetary policy to control unemployment and to increase money supply. So the policy to solve in monetary policy will involve cutting interest rate, lower rate decrease the cost of borrowing and encourage people to spend and invest. This increase aggregate demand and should also help to increase GDP and reduce demand deficient unemployment. Also, lower interest rate will reduce exchange rate and make export more competitive. Fiscal policy can decrease unemployment by helping to increase aggregate demand and the rate economic growth. The government will need to pursue expansionary fiscal policy. This involves cutting tax and increasing government spending. Lower tax increase disposable income and therefore help to increase consumption, leading to higher demand. Alright, for the inflation problem in Venezuela, as we know, the global price of petroleum dropped, the currency value fell, and cost of import goods increased. So to solve this problem is in monetary policy is a higher interest rate, so this increase the cost of borrowing and discourage spending. This lead to lower economic growth and lower inflation. And for fiscal policy, the higher income tax and all lower government spending will reduce aggregate demand, leading to lower growth and less demand full inflation. In addition to that, wages growth is the key factor in determining inflation. If wages increase quickly, it will cause higher inflation.
So thank you, Dr. Adeel, for that very detailed explanation on the policies done by the government. So thank you to both Dr. Akif and Dr. Adeel for joining me tonight in our YouTube channel. And I would like to say thanks to our viewers for viewing this video till the end. Thank you. So thank you very much, and that will be all for tonight. So give this video a thumbs up and give this channel a subscribe. And don't forget to hit that bell button so that you can get notifications on our latest updates. And you can get everything in the description box below. So thank you very much. We will see you next week.